I'd like to issue to you guys a formal retraction. In the previous episode, which we recorded like a month and a half ago, it's been a while since we've done one of these. I issued the statement that Chapel Roan was drivel, and I still stand by that.
Bitch.
She has a single song I like. Pink Pony Club kind of fucks.
It does.
I will.
Correct.
I hate every other piece of music she's ever made, but I would like to issue a formal retraction. Not all of her music is drivel. There's one good song.
Okay.
All right.
Progress, character growth.
Yeah, we're getting somewhere, folks. I will say, in between recording then and now, I have learned every word to Pink Pony Club.
Yeah, actually.
Yes.
I've known the lyrics since like maybe a few years after it came out, like 2020 maybe.
Keep
2021. No,
flexing,
2021.
why don't
Sorry.
you? Yeah.
What?
Yeah, you're so cool. You're so cool.
I am.
Yep.
Hey, I knew Chapel Roan before she was famous. Not actually that far before, because like she's been doing stuff since like 2016, I think.
Yeah, all right.
But
yeah, you just keep flexing. You just keep rubbing it in.
Hey, my ex-girlfriend, she was super into her, so that's why I got into it.
You just keep.
I didn't find her on my own.
Yep, we're not even 5 minutes in.
Oh, sorry, shit.
Cue the Call of Duty zombie noise. Yeah. Yeah, it's true. I am.
Today.
I'm okay with that.
All right. I mean,
that was all I had for the opening, by the way.
Welcome.
Right.
Dude,
if you expected a long-winded tangent.
A podcast about presentations about stuff.
Real quickly, I'm gonna close my vent for the wind chime.
Vent? Sus?
Dude, Connor,
Okay, I'm so
stop.
sorry,
Stop. You didn't even...
I'm sorry. I'm done. I'm good.
You said vent. You triggered his PTSD.
Oh, I did. I took off my headphones. I didn't hear it. Sad. I'm glad I didn't, I guess, but... Okay, I'm done.
So yes, welcome to the podcast. Thank you for listening. I am Ethan, and I am joined today by Connor and Ray.
Hello.
Hi.
As I am at all times, joined in the hellish prison that we call life.
In holy matrimony.
It's just
To love, to have, and to hold. Till death do us part.
What is a podcast but a polycule?
Aw.
With extra commitment efforts.
What's more intimate than marriage in the eyes of God?
Having
a covenant
a
between
podcast.
two souls.
Mm-hmm.
A podcast.
That's right.
Did you guys ever see that meme about like no trio friend group has like or like every trio friend group has at least two of them that fall in love or like dated or whatever? That's you guys.
Yeah.
True.
I'm okay with this.
Yeah.
Anybody who's listening that's also a CJSiev fan, I think actually my art is on the fan account. I drew art of the Munch Boys episodes. And
The Yowie.
Yeah, the Yowie. I didn't actually draw a straight up Yowie or pornography of these two. I have zero interest in doing that. But I do, of course, for the sake of the meme.
For the right price.
My friends and love each other. Yeah, for the right. Well, yeah. If you gotta give me a price first, and maybe I'll consider it.
What?
I would rather we don't make that.
Dude, Connor, do you know how much? Dude, if we split $1 million $3-way for just like some art to be on the internet, I'm okay with this.
I will take $1 million. That's true. Even a third of $1 million.
I would take like maybe $50. I don't know. It'll pay for gas.
I'll take $50. You gotta gas yourself up.
No, your standards are so low.
We're holding them ransom for Yowie.
They're so low on whoring out your friends.
Hey, art is nothing off my back. It's simply a hobby for me.
Uh-huh.
So on the last episode...
Podcasts.
Last episode, I don't remember exactly what came up, but I think we talked about Roswell. And then the neurons activated. I'm like, I know what I'm going to do next episode. This is what we are doing this episode. We're going to talk about a lot of stuff. It's going to be really fun, and it's going to be like a little journey. It's one of those like fun things you can do sometimes where you just follow this one little thread and it takes you through history with this one strange thing. And it involves sound and how sound propagates through fluids. Which is why we were looking at Connor's favorite bedtime noises.
Yep.
Is it actually?
No.
No, he needs his white noise generator, not like water sounds for sleeper focus.
I have the sound effects from Transformers just playing while I sleep. Just metal clashing against each other.
Dude, that's
Transforming
so you have
sounds.
Transformer porn? Just metal
Yes.
clacking against each other? You know?
Yeah. You probably go to relaxingwhitenoise.com, don't you?
Me? I don't use anything.
Oh, you don't?
No.
You just is that a bit? How you always say, yeah, I need my 10 hours of like white noise, rising white noise.
Yes.
It's-
I don't actually. I raw dog sleeping. I don't.
You
have
raw dog
anything.
sleeping?
I have raw
Crazy.
organic white noise that I sleep with. It's just like a fan.
I don't even have that. Silence
It's
under
a good thing
my
I've never slept over at your house.
pile of blankets.
Or a pile of blankets. So
Yeah, you're a different kind of autism.
Yes.
You have
Let's-
the blanket autism, not the fan autism.
Comfy.
let's start the story. Next slide, please.
Oh,
So it's
also
World
this
War
is
II.
the
What? Oh.
this is the anniversary episode. I forgot to
Oh
say
yeah,
that.
happy anniversary!
Happy 1 year anniversary, roughly, when this one comes out. Next episode is
Yeah.
a special one. It's not that
Very good.
special. It's just
Our
gonna be like
baby
the
is
first
1 year
episode.
It's
old.
special
Our
to me.
It's
our triple parental
our child.
doing fine. Yeah.
So it's World War II.
Sorry to interrupt.
No, it's all right. I mean, it's not. Nobody really wants. It's World War II. Everything sucks. World's at war. Now you've got this problem, right? War's mainly over in Europe. Connor, can you circle Europe?
This one.
And then all the stuff we need to fight the war is over in Canada and the U.S. And there's this big fucking ocean in the middle. And it's just it sucks to cross because you gotta boat it all across. We haven't invented like big planes yet, and it's a big ocean. You don't want to get lost out there, and God forbid you sink, or if your plane goes down, as depicted in the lower right. That guy, I'm pretty sure that was either a failed landing or a failed takeoff in a carrier, which is why they got the photo. But if your plane goes down, you need a way to communicate where you are to your allies so they can come and rescue you, especially if you're still alive. Now, how do you do this? We don't have radio transmitters. We don't have satellites, right? It's World War II. We haven't gone to space yet. We can't really communicate very well. But what we do have is the ocean itself. Sound propagates very easily through a denser medium than the atmosphere. So what if, let's say, we set off a little special explosion and tried to hear that from really far away? Well, I mean, you get the same problem you do in the atmosphere, where, you know, after a certain distance, things aren't going to be very loud. However, next slide, please. This is the main topic of the episode, is these things called SOFAR channels. On the left is a graph that is a reading taken north of Hawaii in the Pacific Ocean. It is a function of the speed of sound. The speed of sound as a function of depth. So on the bottom. So remember, the speed of both
Shut up.
sound and light changes based on the medium it's moving through. Right? Light travels faster in a vacuum. Sound can't travel in a vacuum because of how sound is, but that's besides the point. If the medium is denser or warmer, or, you know, depending on the pressure of the medium, the sound will travel faster or slower. So over on this graph, we can see as we get to about 750 meters down, the speed of sound is at its slowest.
I don't know
Where
what
the
that is.
graph where the graph pokes over to the left the most.
Oh, okay.
That's where the speed of sound is lowest. When the speed of sound is at its slowest, it's hard to explain, but essentially what happens is any sound produced in the ocean will propagate, but as it slows down entering this channel, it doesn't want to regain energy to exit the channel. So sound prefers to travel along this slowest speed channel everywhere throughout the ocean. All the sound in the ocean gets funneled into this one little channel. And this is the whole idea behind... did I fucking write this guy's name down? I did not. That guy on the on the right.
I thought he was David Bowie. I don't know why.
It's not David Bowie, sorry.
His name is Gary.
Gary Bowie.
Maurice Ewing. So he's the one who came
Star
up
Wars.
with...
Okay.
It literally is Maurice Ewing. So he was a guy, a pioneering geophysicist, Wikipedia says, and he basically worked out that you could do this with the ocean, and this is how we're going to have a way for these pilots and sailors to have I think it was primarily pilots, but pilots to have a way to send out a distress signal. They'll drop a little explosive from their survival kit. The explosive will descend down to the ideal point, explode, and this sound will propagate for thousands and thousands of kilometers, where my little microphone, even if he goes down off the coast of Africa, I can hear it in Bermuda.
Does flares have anything to do with that, like, process of being found? Is, like, sound traveling? Like when you blast off a flare in the middle of the ocean?
No, that just makes it easier to see you.
I think it's more for sight.
Okay.
So right,
It's like
so
he's right over there.
So finding these sounds, right? Basically, we drop the little sensor, and then we just triangulate them by having multiple microphones picking up the sound, and hey presto, you found your downed pilot, or at least you have a better chance of finding your downed pilot rather than just
He's down bad.
not. Damn, he's so down bad. So that is the main idea.
Me sending my message over to my girl, you up through the ocean.
You up through the ocean.
I can't. I can't. I'm committing war crimes in Europe. My parents aren't home. You.
So now this is initially very useful to try and do search and rescue operations, and the United States Navy during the war, but primarily after it, starts setting up an observation system throughout as many of the oceans as they can to listen to what's happening underwater, because one of the other big things about World War II was, next slide.
So this graph gave me flashbacks to high school physics. I hope you're happy.
Get fucked, idiot.
Oh, look at them.
Another big part of World War II was submarine warfare, unrestricted submarine warfare. It was a factor in both wars, and anti-submarine efforts really only came into their true form during World War II, because during the First World War, all your diesel electric submarines were just little death traps, just waiting to
they kind of
kill everyone on board. But so as the war ends and we move into the Cold War between the US and the Soviets, the use of sound as a passive detection system for what's happening underwater becomes really important to finding out where submarines are. And so this whole calculation of densities and temperatures and salinities of water, and figuring out how sound travels and at what points it's going to enter this SOFAR channel, becomes turbo fucking classified, because you don't want your enemy knowing how to do these calculations. You are the only one who wants to know how to do the calculations, because you're the only one who wants to remain undetected. Because remember, the sound prefers to travel along the layer. So if you're above or below it, you can't hear the other side of it. It's just a perfect little masking cover.
That's what the mask is.
Dude, that's awesome. Pictured here is His Majesty's Canadian ship Victoria, one of 4 Canadian Victoria-class diesel electric attack submarines.
Oops.
We got them from Britain because Britain didn't want them anymore.
Of course they didn't.
Which
Get their
is,
scraps, I guess. Huh.
yeah, which is a good sign for how good they are.
Are we still using those?
Yep, these are still in active service. There is currently talks of a replacement program, but who gives a shit?
It'll never happen.
It'll never happen. I mean, it works for what we need, really. It's just a little... they're just a little, stealthy So there's different classes of submarine. This is an attack submarine. It's got torpedoes to essentially, directly attack other vessels within like detection range, as opposed to like nuclear missile submarines, like fucking like the one the Kursk was or whatever, which I think was, I can't even remember, who carry
Neptune's Curse?
No, Kursk as in Kursk, the Russian submarine that killed everyone on board it in 2000s.
So not Neptune's
that one.
Curse.
Yeah.
Not Neptune's Curse, but they did suffer from Neptune's Curse, which was dragging them to the bottom of the ocean.
That classic prank
kind
from Poseidon.
Classic prank. But yeah, as opposed to missile submarines, which are substantially larger. Like you can see this submarine here. This is like less than less than like 60 feet long, based on those people standing on it. But you can there are some massive submarines out there that carry nuclear missiles and all that junk. But yeah.
He's a shower, not a grower.
Oh, dude. Same.
Sorry.
Yeah, so that's submarines. So that's mainly why I found why I learned about these like thermal layers is through Smarter Every Day, when he did propaganda for the U.S. Navy and went on board a submarine underneath the Arctic Ocean, which is a really good video series, to be frank. It's actually really fun, and talking about like how the math behind these. I think the Navy generally refers to them as thermal layers because they do change depending on temperature and pressure and salinity of the surrounding water. So they move up and down, or depending on where you are in the ocean. Mm-hmm. And that's mainly where I learned about these for the first time. But this is not where it ends. So
just the beginning.
Next slide, please. So World War II ends. It ends like this, with a colossal war crime and an attack on a civilian populace.
The Oppenheimer special.
The Oppenheimer special, parts 1 and 2. The hold on, what am I thinking? So now the world has nuclear weapons, and this is important to remember when we go to talk about the next few slides here. But yeah, let's think about this for a sec. We've got, we're using the ocean, this big fluid. It has this perfect little layer of perfect density where sound travels the slowest, and it prefers to travel along this for very, very long distances. Now, nuclear weapons make big explosions. They're very loud, and I don't have satellites in space to detect them yet. So, the atmosphere is a big fluid. Are you guys connecting the dots that I am here?
Sense the air.
Dense the air. All right. So now that we have those thoughts pinned in the back of our mind, next slide, please. Time to talk about the
Oh, yeah.
Club Shido, let's go.
Not Club Shido, no!
Now we're on the part where I remember talking about the from last episode. I mean, Connor, what do you even know about like Area 51 or aliens or Roswells or conspiracies or shit like that?
Well, Area 51, near Roswell, the town in New Mexico.
It's not even close to Roswell.
Is it not?
And Area 51 is in Nevada. In fact, it is pictured on the right. That is Groom Lake.
Just watched Venom 3. They go to Area 51.
I was getting to the Venom joke, Ray.
God, well, you did a horrible job.
Terrible movie, and I forgot what state it was in.
It's the greatest movie of all time.
I couldn't point out New Mexico on a map. Or Nevada. I'm not going to lie to you.
Just point to the United States. It's fine. It's
somewhere in the western
left?
states.
Yeah.
Supposedly an alien spaceship crashed, which was later revealed to be Zoidberg in the documentary Futurama. That's not what happens in that episode. But they do go to Area 51. And the government covered it up. They took the remains and the ship to Area 51. And that place has been classified ever since, and nobody's allowed in. But as
that's
from
right.
the documentary Venom 3: The Last Dance, bad movie, that's where they're storing the symbiotes.
Oh yeah.
And it recently got destroyed. What was the one below Area 51?
Oh yeah, Area 52 is directly underneath.
Is
Area
it 52?
I don't remember. Maybe.
I
Is
don't
that
remember-
actually
I don't either.
from? Did
Yes.
they actually go to Area 52?
I think
in
so.
They went
Alaska?
to,
It's
like, hold
directly
on.
underneath.
So you mean below or like to the south?
No.
It's like below, like underground.
They were
I see.
in Venom 3. They're closing down Area 51 because they're moving everything. I think
Area
it's Area
55.
52. Is it 55?
Yeah, it's Area
Okay.
55.
They're moving them, and like nobody's ever gonna find this new base. Nobody could ever
It's
sense it.
below
It's
Area
directly
51.
underneath.
It's so funny. It's like, it's hilarious. Also, oh god, I fucking love that movie. It's so dumb. It's
a
like
terrible
I
movie.
like how dumb it is. It's just fun, you know.
I hated it.
It's not about. This
Go
isn't
see
about
Wild
Venom 3,
Robot or
obviously.
Transformers 1. Way better.
I mean, let's see what they both got on Rotten Tomatoes, which is an invalid.
But supposedly,
Review set.
Area 51 stores alien ships, like
Full
the
of
remains of a
aliens.
ship, and the bodies.
Yep, they're all there, folks.
Yep.
A couple facts about Area 51. So that is Groom Lake, that big dry patch. Basically, it's
There's
because
so much air for
Nevada.
your age.
I was trying to formulate that joke.
Okay, and the airport, the super long runway strip running kind of top left to bottom right, is Homey Airport.
Holy airport.
Apparently, that's what OpenStreetMap is telling me. I'm gonna just run with it. Homey.
Me and my homies down in Area 51 near Groom Lake,
Yeah.
getting
So-
groomed. Drake's there.
Okay. So weird shit has happened at Area 51. It is part of the Nevada test range. So just to the northwest of Las Vegas is a massive, massive area of desert that is basically reserved for the U.S. government to do their secret bullshit. This is where they tested the nukes.
Yeah, I saw
It's just up
Oppenheimer.
here. Yeah, you saw Oppenheimer. This is where they tested all the nukes. This is where there's a whole fucking valley just covered in craters that you can see from space because of all that shit. But yeah, this is where they tested the nukes. A couple other super secret bullshit came out of here. For example, this is where they developed the U-2 spy plane, the super high altitude
The band?
spy plane.
And the band, yeah.
No, not the band.
No.
I should have had a photo. It's the one with the super big wingspan that they put Adam Savage in that one Mythbusters episode.
Oh, fuck, I don't remember the model. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's a U-2. It only has 2 landing gear, and it has to have little struts on its wings because it's so long when it takes off.
And
It looks really goofy, but it is very good at its job, which is just high altitude surveillance.
And when they, U2, the band, sent all of their, made everybody download that album, they sent it
know,
all to everybody's iPhones, came out of Area 51.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep.
That's why they all raided
I'm
Area.
glad-
When was the Area 51 raid again?
That was
2020?
2019,
That was
I think.
pre-pandemic.
That was pre-pandemic.
The Stone
Yeah.
Ages. A better
Yeah.
time
Honestly,
before the timeline shift.
before the timeline shift. The
Before Phase 4 came in,
Yep.
or Phase 5.
another thing that was developed here was the SR-71 Blackbird, which is the super cool Mach 3 turbo fast high altitude surveillance plane.
That one's Jetfire in Transformers 2 Revenge of the Fallen, I think.
That's correct. Revenge of the Fallen does have a Blackbird transformer, the one that gives their
Jetfire.
Matrix or
I'm
or
playing
core
with
or whatever.
I'm playing with his Legends class toy literally as we speak.
You should take a photo of it and put it in both transformed
Sure.
and in Blackbird
Oh
mode.
my god.
It's not a very accurate toy. I just
Hey, no,
watched
Blackbirds are
Transformers Revenge of the Fallen.
Blackbirds are
It's
cool.
terrible. It's
Like
this
the
is
bird
where,
or the machine?
the
like
plane.
the machine. The plane is
Gotcha.
super cool.
Huh.
The what else happened here? This is where I'm
You know
pretty
what
sure
his
in-
grandfather was? The first wheel. You know what he transformed into? Nothing.
Yeah,
A butt.
it's just
I
a
hate that
wheel.
movie.
Is that because you're rewatching them right now, right?
I'm doing a video on them.
I'm excited to see it.
It's not
I'm
good.
really excited to see it. I don't care. I'm excited to see it.
Okay, I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, that's good. We're hyping up the CJSiev YouTube channel.
It's coming.
Which is very active.
Yeah, the inactive CJSiev YouTube channel.
I've started like 5 videos, to be fair.
He's
Just all of
working
them
on
were-
it.
I just canceled
wanna
all of them because I wasn't happy with them.
That's fair.
There he is.
I'm
That's the
excited
latest.
when you get to 400
I wanna look at
subscribers so
those.
I could ask multiple questions.
That does not look like a blackbird.
I
but
know,
not
but
close
that is
enough.
what he is in the movie.
I love. Are those? No, those are just his feet, but they look like there's fucking tail.
Feet, you say?
Tail horizontal, like lifted tail horizontal stabilizers, like T-tails. That's crazy. Those aren't on it at all, but I would love to see a blackbird with those. That'd be hilarious. And also what happened here, if anyone has seen Top Gun Maverick, this is where he flew like the hypersonic crazy plane or whatever in the start of the movie.
I have not seen that movie.
I also haven't, but I've seen the clip, and it's kind of sick. The Dark Star is what they call it.
I haven't seen the original Top Gun either.
I love homoeroticism in the U.S. Navy.
I kind of hate Tom Cruise. Though.
We all
He creeps me
know
out.
it's
He does
gay as
look
hell.
weird.
He's
does
always
look weird.
he's just creeped me out always.
The
But he's
second
normal,
movie
though.
is him literally getting over the fact that he killed his boyfriend in the first one.
Is it really?
Pretty much. I mean, that's what my headcanon is. I don't know. Maybe I'm about to light up the Top Gun fandom with this one. And yes, also there's aliens and everything. It's the center of so many conspiracies. Like there was the raid we mentioned, and then just so much bullshit. But I mean, all the declassified stuff like the U-2 and the SR-71 and probably the B-117 or the B-2 bomber, the stealth bombers.
Those planes are so cool.
They are pretty cool. We could do a planes episode. The like any like all that stuff is developed here. And then it's also where they do a lot of the same Nevada Test and Training Range, which is just all to the west. It has a lot of electronic combat testing, which is also something that you need to keep very under wraps because you don't want your enemy knowing what kind of systems you are using to disrupt their systems. Otherwise, they'll just immediately counter it. Right? Do you guys understand how electronic warfare works?
No.
Not particularly.
Have either of you used a radio?
No.
Like
Sure.
Like a two-way radio?
Yes, I have.
Yes. We both used it at our own respective jobs.
Oh,
yeah, so
I was
and
thinking
you know-
I
I
was
was
like
like-
child for some reason, but I have to carry that around literally every day.
Yeah,
fucking
literally every day.
morons.
Yeah, I was
we
like,
all
well,
have
that's something I
radios
know
for
we
our
both
jobs.
use.
That's what I was talking about. So with radios, what happens when two people try to talk at the same time?
Nothing
The
happens.
frequency, it fucks up, and then you get horrible feedback.
Correct. So, certain radio frequencies, you need to have them all to yourself using radio, especially for communication purposes. Talking over each other does not work. That's why we need strict radio rules.
That's why I simply
For
talk
especially in safety critical jobs like in the airline industry or on railways or other such things. You need to have strict rules surrounding radios so that people can talk when they need to. And this is why people are like, say over once you're done your transmission so that people know it's their turn to talk, right?
over.
And because everyone who uses radios has autism and just wants to butt in all the time.
True and real.
True.
True and real. So, what would happen if someone took a radio, put it on that frequency, and just held down the transmit button and left it in a hiding spot?
Fucks it up.
Completely fucks it up, and no one
Cruel
can
prank,
communicate.
if anything. Yeah.
A cool prank. You have successfully done jamming. This is what electronic warfare comes down to at the simplest point, is removing the enemy's ability to use the electromagnetic spectrum from their arsenal. By jamming a frequency, you have committed electronic warfare, which you can just do for fun. It's a safe and legal thrill.
Yeah, why not? Oh, okay.
Don't actually do this.
Don't
This
do
is not
that.
legal advice.
I'm
not
pretty
a
sure
lawyer.
it is actually illegal.
Yeah. I mean, yes, no, the CRTC, Canadian Radio Transmission Radio, whatever. Radio frequencies are heavily regulated. Like, to be a radio station, you need licenses and shit. Like, pirate radio is based, but, like,
Fun fact, a homeowners association cannot make you take down a ham radio tower.
That's right.
Or a bat roost.
I'll put a bat roost on my ham radio tower and give them all radiation poisoning. Just microwave all those bats.
Yep.
But yes, that is what the very basic principle of electronic warfare is. Just something like that, is filling a frequency with noise or other certain bullshit. But it could get more deeper than that. We could talk about that kind of combat and the cool planes associated with it, because there are some cool planes to do electronic warfare with. How you can make the missile not know where it is.
The missile knows where it is because it knows where it isn't.
Another cool thing about the Nevada Test and Training Range, it's just across the mountains from Death Valley.
Ooh, that's where they dump all the bodies.
That's why they call it Death Valley.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a whole other load of, like, just military bases in the deserts. I don't know, the United States military and stuff, they do that. All right, so we were talking about aliens. So let's go talk about aliens, Connor. Next slide, please. We're going to talk about Roswell.
No.
Yes! You do recognize it.
Get that off my screen.
The second we looked it up, I looked up Roswell. I'm like, I need a little gray man as a companion piece. And I'm like, Fudgy Fudge Face has aliens.
Get that off my screen. I think Area 51 is in the movie, actually.
Is that where that's from? Is Fudgy Wudgy
That is
Fudge
from
Face?
Fudgy Wudgy Fudge Face. Audio listeners.
That's hilarious.
What Ethan has put on screen is a screenshot from a movie I did a video on called Fudgy Wudgy Fudge Face, which I've maybe seen more than any living human being on the planet. I hate that movie.
He's got good constitution. He can stand up to it.
It keeps coming up. I keep having to watch it. It keeps happening. It's because I
haven't seen it. You're going to have to watch it with me.
I hate that movie.
I
still get hate comments because I hate it. People. That comment section is just people mad at me for hating this movie.
I was just looking at how, because it has like over 1,000 views on that video you made, right?
Oh, I don't remember exactly, but it's a pretty well-performing video if I remember correctly.
It's hilarious. There's also, Connor brought it up at one point. I think this was actually brought up in a previous episode where it was in that one Howie Mandel video.
Yes.
And yeah, so like it's on the recommended when they're watching like a video
views.
or something about it. It's hilarious. I have a screenshot I took of it like long ago. But
yeah, the guy who made the video has at least
Yeah.
seen the thumbnail of my video. So there's a non-zero chance he saw the video. But
It's
I hate
hilarious.
that movie. Awful. Bad movie. I've seen it like a dozen times now. And I keep having to watch it. It keeps coming up, and I don't know why. Last time I watched it, I was at a friend's house who gave me the original disc. And then one of our friends who was there was like, because it came up for some reason, he was like, "What are you talking about?" We looked at each other. We're just like, "Fuck, we got to show him. We got to watch it." He was not thrilled with us. Our friend, he was really mad we made him watch it.
So in 1947.
I'm sorry.
So in 1947, a UFO crashed near the town of Roswell, New Mexico.
I could feel the energy from the DVD on the case behind me.
It's like its eyes are bearing into you.
Okay, 1947. I'm sorry.
On July 8th, 1947, the paper on the Roswell Daily featured a headline saying that there was a flying saucer that landed on a ranch in the Roswell region. Now, at this time, there was sort of like the flying saucer craze had begun, but this really helped it take off.
Yeah, I've seen Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull.
Yeah, me too, bud. Great movie, top tier.
Yep.
Big fan. So this really kicked the whole craze into high gear with the whole United States Army doing cover-ups and everything. Oh, right. It's 1947 as well. There's another interesting point. The Air Force doesn't exist yet.
Does it?
No. So in World War II, there wasn't exactly like dedicated air forces in many nations. There, honestly, the Royal Air Force in the United Kingdom may have been one of the only ones. But in 1947, there were two major divisions of the United States military: the U.S. Navy and the U.S. Army. And the U.S. Army had the U.S. Army Air Forces.
Oh, all right.
And then the Navy also had their Naval Air Force. So it is the U.S. Army Air Force that was conducting, I was about to say their operation, their cover-up. Well, it was their operation. We'll get to that. So this whole thing crashes. This pictured is a major of some name, I don't know. He's just posing with it because he came to collect the debris from the rancher. Presumably they're there in his house. And look at this. It's so weird. All this weird, like silvery, silvery material. How did it end up like this? I've never seen a craft like this. And
DIY crafts haven't been invented yet, so who knows?
It's just a weather balloon.
So this actually got the United States Army, who were working out of Roswell Army Airfield, to announce that they were in the possession of a flying disc. Made international headlines, but was retracted the next day, and then they later said it was just a weather balloon. A cover-up.
What's a weather balloon?
My goodness. They have aliens. I think didn't Men in Black explain this as like it was two teens joyriding, and they crashed there.
To be honest with you,
Oh my God.
I'm pretty sure that's what happened at the start of that movie.
So are you asking what an actual weather balloon is, right?
Yes.
It is it's a balloon that gets launched up, and it has a bunch of sensors on it that detect weather currents, mostly pressure and temperature and stuff like that. My dad launches those. That is his.
Oh yeah.
Cool.
Let's go, Dad.
Let's go, Mr. Siev, right?
Really tempted to say his full name.
I don't know his middle name. I only know his first name.
Yeah. Okay. No. Yes, I know his middle.
Yeah. No, you don't. You don't need to say it.
No, I had to think for a second.
You don't know your
I know
dad's
his
middle name? I feel like
yes,
that's
I know
kind
his middle
of.
name.
Yeah. I think my dad's middle name is, not that I don't remember it, but it's definitely one that I don't hear a lot, so I get that. It's like I know my brother's, my mom's, but not my dad's. I mean, I know my dad's, again, just don't hear it very often. Doesn't matter.
The important part about a weather balloon, it's a super high altitude balloon.
Yeah, they go
It'll
really
take
high
measurements and readings as it goes up, and it will tell you what different pressures, temperatures, like humidities at various altitudes, and it will print out a graph that kind of looks like the SOFAR channel graph that we saw earlier. And it basically like graphs like different temperatures along the horizontal axis as the height increases along the vertical axis. And this will tell meteorologists what to expect, how things are shaping up in different parts of the atmosphere. So you launch one of these and you see, there's a lot of, there's this, so it's really cold at the ground, but then you go up and it's actually much hotter up higher. This could mean certain weather patterns are going to evolve from that. Mm-hmm. But yes, weather balloons can look like this. I guess no one's ever seen it. What the fuck is a weather balloon, right? Some fucking excuse by the United States Army Air Force.
I've seen a weather balloon. They don't look like that.
Absolute bullshit. So
as someone who signed neither, it's clearly not real.
What do you mean it's not real? It's right there. The guy's holding it.
Well, the photo doesn't mean real life. Photos can be fibbed.
AI generated.
That photo on the right is real.
Yeah, AI generation has been a thing since the 1970s. We all know this.
That's real.
Mm-hmm.
But so this then just kicks off what I think is a pretty commonly understood UFO craze. Aliens are real. They visited Earth. They're in flying saucers. They look like Fudgy Wudgy Fudge Face or whoever that is on the right. Does the alien have a name?
Does the alien have a name?
It's like Paul.
No, I think they just call him the alien.
I'm not gonna lie. I didn't know Fudgy Wudgy Fudge Face was about aliens. You told me the title and I was like, I have no fucking idea what it's about.
Let me grab the disc here.
You don't have to.
Let me grab
Does he have a name?
the burning box that's in my room.
It doesn't say on the box. I don't remember. It doesn't matter. I try to
Yeah,
forget everything that happens in that movie.
And then there's just, tons of hoaxes, people claiming abduction stories or other things. It's like I've been probed, or I saw something, right? And honestly,
Someone please help. There's lasagna in my ass.
someone placed John, where's my lasagna?
It's been probed up my ass.
But yeah, you get all the alien abduction story, which I love alien abduction stories. That'd be a good episode.
That would actually be a really good episode.
That should be pretty interesting.
Or Paranormal Bullshit, the episode.
My god, please.
His name is just Alien.
Or tier list out all the cryptids based on how much of a gay icon they are.
Mothman is an S tier.
Agreed.
Mothman, S tier lesbian representation.
Mm-hmm.
Ogopogo is F tier. I will not elaborate.
What the fuck is Ogopogo, bro?
Damn.
You don't know who Ogopogo is? Are you even Canadian?
Not even Canadian.
Not
Jesus.
really.
Ugh.
Pathetic.
I am
I'm not
Canadian.
explaining this.
I'm not explaining. Yeah.
What?
No, this is beyond.
No.
This is beyond the scope of this episode.
Hey, that's okay with
Ray's
me.
not a nationalist, and Ray hates her country.
It's true. I genuinely do not care about
I
it.
agree.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm not the only one here that...
Fair enough, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm sorry to burst your bubble or weather balloon, but it's not a weather balloon, and it wasn't a flying saucer. There is a real, actual, genuine explanation for what this is, and it's on the next slide. So, remember the little pin we poked about the atmosphere being a fluid with a perfect sound canal to hear things?
Me
Over very
drinking
long
up all
distances?
the atmosphere. Yes.
Project Mogul was a classified United States Army Air Force operation that wanted to fly high-altitude balloons, like a weather balloon, with a ton of microphones so that they could potentially detect Soviet atomic tests. Because another interesting thing that happens in 1947 is two absolute, depending on who you think they are, either complete traitors to the United States, like treasonous traitors to the United States, or absolute heroes of the Soviet Union, snuck the secrets for nuclear weapon technology into the Soviet Union.
And I'm
That
pretty
happened in
sure it's where the
1947,
Fallout
and
timeline diverges.
Probably. So 1947 is the first year that happened, and the first year I think the Soviets have a successful atomic test. I may be incorrect about this, I'm not totally sure, but the Cold War has kicked into high gear, and the United States needs to know how many bombs are going off. They need to know everything. You gotta know.
Right.
Could have just waited
And
for
this is how
summer
they...
to come.
This...
Cold War ends.
What?
Could have just waited for
You're so
summertime.
right.
Cold War ends.
You're so right. So yeah, it was doing the exact same thing that we were doing in the ocean, except in the atmosphere. You're listening for sound waves propagating along these channels in the atmosphere. Exactly. With a lot of microphones. I'm actually looking on the Wikipedia right now. I should have put this image in. The balloon had a trail of microphones that was longer than the Washington Monument is tall.
Jesus Christ.
It was a lot of microphones.
Okay. I
you
really
can
wanted to
see-
hear it, I guess.
They really, you want to space them out so you have a lot of microphones. It's redundancy. So one of these balloons crashes on a ranch in Roswell, New Mexico. Now,
this is a deep state trick.
this is a deep state trick. This is you come up with actually.
Please
we
don't
were
know this
simply
one
just,
hack I have.
We're actually just simply looking out for nuclear tests, but in reality, it was aliens and
Yep.
shit. This is what the deep state's all about.
Yep.
The
I've seen Inside Job.
So yeah, one of these balloons crashes, and you can't tell some dipshit rancher in the middle of New Mexico, hey, yeah, sorry, man, we were trying to listen for Soviet bomb tests because that guy could be a spy or some bullshit. This shit's top secret. You have to there is a legitimate cover-up, and this, because it's been so long, they can finally reveal that, yes, it was actually a test to listen for tests. And that is why it happened. This is the whole reason, is these simple, stupid little balloons made of this newfangled material, polyethylene plastic, which who the fuck has seen plastic in their life? It kind of looks like this weird metal, right? So that's why it had to happen. They just had to cover it up. And this is how you can relate Roswell to whatever the fuck we were talking about earlier, like oceans and shit. It's the same principle. But we're not done yet, because now that we've got microphones everywhere and we're listening, we can hear a bunch of wacky bullshit. We're going to talk about one of my favorite subjects. It's the ocean. Next slide. Look at that
water.
Shit. I love water. There's more water on this surface than land. That came out so awkwardly.
Buddy.
You want to try that again?
Yeah, go ahead, Ethan.
One take, baby. We'll do it live.
We're keeping it in. Do not touch it.
Any other fans of the ocean in this chat?
Nope, I want dry land.
I think
too much wet.
I think between the land and ocean, I prefer the ocean. I have a favor towards aquatic animals and mammals specifically.
They look so stupid.
Too much
I
wet.
love them all.
I love how, yeah, I like it.
Connor likes staying on land.
Yep.
That's it.
I don't like being underground. I don't like being up high, and I don't like being on the water.
I don't like
you were
I
fine
don't
on
like
a mountain.
Me, I don't like spiders.
I did not. I stayed well away from the edge.
Okay, he wasn't fine on the mountain, folks.
To be fair, both you and I like swimming, Ethan. So I feel like that also. There's like.
Why haven't we gone swimming?
Oh my God! Why haven't we gone swimming? That's a good point. I haven't gone swimming in a few
months. Water park day thoughts?
Oh my God! I would love to go to the water park. That would be really fun.
Connor?
I hate swimming.
Please. Water parks, you don't have to swim. You can just go down rides.
I don't want to be in.
And then you can sit to the side and play with your toys while we're out in the water.
I'll bring my bionicles.
Based.
Bring your
maybe.
toys.
Hey, can I bring my emotional support bionicle down the dropper?
I'm bringing my galley. She will protect me. I've never actually been to the water park.
It's if you're a germaphobe, you probably won't like it. But it's really fun. I like it.
Never actually been there.
I mean, yeah, it's fun.
I'll be down to maybe go. We'll see. We'll see.
Really?
Perhaps.
Oh my God, really? Please.
Perhaps.
Let's revisit this in a month, maybe. Or we could do it in between all of our birthdays, because we all have late winter, springish, summer birthday. Like in the springtime, right in between. Like the medium.
Our birthdays are like well over a month apart each.
No, Ethan's like about a month from me, and then you're about 2
months after, 3 months after you.
Like almost 3 months. I don't think it's exactly 3 months.
It's just about 3 months.
Oh shit,
you're
right.
Who else has a birthday?
The ocean.
The ocean.
What's the ocean's birthday, Ethan?
Yeah, we're good at staying on
the
topic.
ocean's birthday. I mean, shit, it's probably like 4 billion years ago. Been around for a while.
All right, I guess birthday is a day, not exactly a year, but that's okay.
Yeah, Connor, liquid water's been on the surface of this planet for
billions
most of
years. Yeah,
billions of years. Yeah, 4 billion years ago, probably.
Not
That's
quite
probably
that
the most
long,
accurate
but
number.
Was,
you don't think? No. Maybe 3.5?
The Archean, maybe 3.5. The Archean was, or the Hadean, sorry.
Pretty hot.
It was pretty hot.
I guess.
Maybe,
let's go, because there was I think 2 to 3 billion, probably.
Yeah, somewhere in there. I don't remember off the top of my head. I know there's estimates for it, but I don't know what they are off the top of my head.
2 to 3 billion what again?
3 billion years old is that water.
Ish.
Around that.
I'm just going to Google it. Hang on.
How old is the
ocean?
How old is the ocean?
This is where all life comes from,
How
folks.
big is
cool
the wet?
How big is the wet?
How long wet go far?
Let far go long.
Let far go long.
Why do they call it the oven when they oven the I don't remember the.
Wait, what?
Can't even do the quote. It's so stroke-inducing.
Oh my god!
You know what? That was the last comic that a live Jim Davies actually made, and AI has been controlling his body ever since because he had a stroke writing that.
Did he actually? About 3.8 billion years ago.
Oh,
damn, I was right.
Yeah, you were
close.
4 at the start. Because the Earth is like It formed 4.56 billion years ago.
Yeah, 4.5.
And you only need like 500 million years is plenty of time for like a surface to cool and some liquid water to form. So 4 billion, almost 4 billion years ago.
My favorite Garfield comic is the one where John drinks dog semen.
My favorite Garfield comic is the one where John says to Garfield, Garfield, I'm a woman now and my name is Jean. And Garfield says, why don't you go put a lasagna in the oven for me, Jean?
And then he calls her a slur.
Why don't you put your tranny ass to good use?
Oh, you're a woman now? Get in the kitchen.
Where you belong.
That's kind of what the whole comic is saying.
Garfield doesn't discriminate. He already put John in the kitchen before.
I should go find that image because it's actually a really good like one-panel comic that someone drew. My name is Jean, now Garfield.
It's a good comic. I've seen that one too.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
What, really?
Yeah.
What other ocean facts do we got?
There's fish in it.
Yeah.
There was that
fish,
submarine that blew
poo.
up in it when they tried to go look for the Titanic.
Yep. Called James Cameron.
Yeah.
Got some billionaires down there. Moving on. The Cold War. We wanted to listen to bombs everywhere. We wanted to listen to everything, hear everything. We need to know because we need intelligence is the only way that we're going to fight this like conflict is just knowing what the other side is doing.
A red menace.
The Red Menace.
That's what they call me on my period.
And we
Better
talked
dead
about
than red.
Dude, high five.
Shark Week, more like Red Menace.
I'm so patriotic. I read blue. I bleed blue and white. No red.
Wait,
No
what?
red.
That's not patriotic then. If you don't bleed red.
No red.
I bleed common tears.
Common tears. That's it.
The Holy Trinity, cum, tears, and blood.
That's all that's going through my bloodstream. No blood, because that's the color of communism.
Arrow pointed at Connor's head, full of semen.
The ghost of the ghost of McCarthy's pointing a gun at my head.
Oh my God! Go to the next slide, please.
Did I get the right
listen.
name? I think I did.
Are those the towers?
Oh, fuck off.
Oh, no.
I'm sorry.
Okay, listen. So, we put microphones everywhere because we wanted to listen. So, remember I mentioned earlier we want to listen for submarines. So, we basically have NOAA was transferred this whole perfect hydrophone network after the Cold War, and they began to be able to just listen to what's going on in the ocean for like, biological research as opposed to, hey, where the submarine's at, right?
Yo, girl,
so
where
we
your
got
submarine at?
and because now NOAA had control of them, and this was like right at the end of the Cold War in the early 90s. Now NOAA has control of this massive hydrophone network across like pretty much a large majority of the world. They're able to listen out and hear a bunch of weird bullshit going on in the ocean. It's like, what is that noise? Why is that noise happening?
Fish orgy. What's
Fish
going
orgy?
on in there?
In my ocean?
More likely than you think.
It's more likely than you think.
Wait till marriage.
Fish marriage.
Fish marriage.
Fish marriage, if you will.
Fish marriage implies fish Catholicism?
Yeah.
Fish Jesus?
Fish Jesus.
Yeah. All right.
Fesius, if you will.
Facetious.
Facetious.
Fish. My she-fish. So, yeah. This is how we get into another fun conspiracy theory related to all this bullshit.
What would Jesus' fish sauna be? I'm sorry.
Like a rainbow trout, maybe salmon.
Sure, I'm sorry.
No, it's it'd have to be like some fish that can like come back to life.
The coelacanth.
Yeah, you know what? Base pick. Coelacanth Jesus.
Yeah.
Coelacanth Jesus. Let's put it on the box art. Coelacanth Jesus in an Oppenheimer costume with, I don't know, a radio.
Wait, is box art as in you want like the episode thumbnail?
Yeah, that's what I meant. Did I say box art?
Box art. I was confused
you did.
too.
I was like, what are you talking about?
I'm surprised I said box art.
I am too. I like to see coelacanth because there's a Pokemon called Relicanth that's based off this fish. And Relicanth is a really cool Pokemon. It's one of my favorites.
I like Pikachu.
I see.
So,
Based.
one of the
Or not
sounds.
based.
I'm
Stupid.
sorry, Ethan.
You know what Pokemon I like is no, I got nothing. So one of the sounds they record is this one. This is a I don't know, a sound pattern thing of like top to bottom is frequencies. Over time, it's a recording. It's a visualization of a recording. This is known as the bloop. Have either of you heard of the bloop?
Yes, but I don't know what it is.
You have no idea what the bloop is.
I just know of
Nope.
it.
You know of it. What do you know of it? Tell me.
I just know it was a weird sound signal they found.
A weird sound in the ocean.
Was it the one caused by whales? Is that this one?
That's the thing.
What?
The sound in the 90s was completely unidentified. And it was super, super loud and over a wide range of frequencies. You can see basically where there is like lighter colors. So where there's darker colors, there is no noise. Where there are lighter colors, there is noise. So you can see that what the bloop is the large band right there on the left. Now, we can actually hear the bloop. Connor we will figure out a way to put this in post. But in links for stuff, Folk and Lad, list of unexplained sounds on Wikipedia. Now you're going to get, just don't read. Just click on the one that says bloop, okay? If you read, you're going to spoil yourself. Because we never really found a way to like link the sounds because they're just on dot files on the thing.
We didn't really try that hard, to be fair.
Well, I mean, I didn't try at all.
We
Yeah, that's
pretty
correct.
much just said, fuck it, I'll figure something out.
And then
Yeah,
never
I'll figure
did.
something out.
I'll figure it out. Worst comes to worst, I'm just going to put a link to this
The
page
link,
on the
yeah.
website.
The description
Where
below.
is it here?
The website? You mean the description? Video
In
description?
the
So if you're at the top of
description, yeah.
Wikipedia page, list of unexplained sounds on Wikipedia at en.wikipedia.org is down in the NOAA formerly unidentified section,
there we
which
go.
is a bit of a spoiler.
Yep.
If you would like to listen, it just sounds like a bubble popping. Now, the only reason you can hear this, because you may notice the frequencies there are 0 to 50 hertz. What is the lowest sound a human can hear again? Isn't
I
it
don't
like
know.
hold on, range?
I've heard
of
that one
human-
before.
Like
I didn't know that one was the bloop, though.
I like when it happens. When you hear the bloop sound in the recording, there's a closed caption that just says bloop when it happens.
it's honestly hilarious at the closed captions.
It's
There.
really
20 hertz to 20,000 hertz, right? So you can see a lot of this is actually it's like super low pitch, like way at the bottom of the range of human hearing. What it is just stumped scientists forever, especially when it was first recorded in 1997. So they started trying to figure it out. It's like, and they started trying to figure it out. Okay, well, we recorded this pretty much over like a massive area in the south of the Pacific, near the bottom of South America, and we've triangulated it to the point at the. Sorry, they triangulated to the point of South America, not recording it around South America. They heard it in a lot of places. It was super powerful. The reason we can actually hear it in this recording is, and I should note about this, pretty much all the recordings we're going to hear are sped up 16 times. Basically, by speeding it up, you've essentially got a Nightcore version of the recording, and it makes it so that it goes higher pitched. We can hear it more. So that bloop, which we heard, which was over like a span of like, I don't know, half a second tops, 16 times longer, it probably would have lasted longer. And it would have been completely unheard by almost completely unheard by our ears because it's just such a low frequency. So,
Bloop.
Bloop.
what has been figured out to be the cause of the bloop
Can I guess?
Would you like to guess? Are
Hydrothermal
you going
vents?
to read the Wikipedia?
Nope, I didn't look at
That
it.
is okay. That is one guess. One of their guesses was, we'll get to that actually. One of their guesses was geological activity. It's like, was this an earthquake, a landslide, a hydrothermal vent, some kind of volcanic eruption? That was one guess.
Whales hitting their vapes.
Whales hitting their vapes with another guess. Like, genuinely, biological factors, right? The reason we know pistol shrimp are pistol shrimp is because we hear them on these hydrophones. But
do we
it was
actually?
determined between... Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Like, listening to the ocean, Noah getting this hydrophone array was such a massive advancement in figuring out what the fuck was going on in the ocean, because we just genuinely did not know what was going on in the ocean. We've only really figured out what's going on there because of all the wonderful research that like hydrophone arrays and other like submersible expeditions, like technology that we mainly got through military advancements. I should find the podcast episode I listened to. Oh God, I don't even remember the name, but I love the podcast because
don't even get me started.
Actually, it's don't even get me started.
Yeah, don't you guys remember that episode?
It's in the Bionicle one.
It's run by a lady that's doing her like marine biology stuff in the States at like Woods Hole, who's like ex Coast Guard or maybe Navy. I think she's a coastie, but she did their most recent episode she did was about how you can like track pretty much all of our oceanographic discoveries to military advancements, trying to like figure out the ocean as a battlefield.
I mean, that's with
and
most
like
technology though. Like none of our electronics would be the same without military.
Radios were invented for military reasons.
Yeah.
Radar,
space
sonar,
stuff,
space shit. Yeah, exactly. And so that's really cool. But no, it was not biological, and it was not a geological. So next slide, please. We'll get to the image on the left real quick.
I would like an explanation, please.
I need a little bit of me too, but that's okay. I can wait.
It was now. Okay, you know what? We'll talk about the image on the left. Basically, the bloop has been like anybody who's like into ocean like bullshit conspiracies. People really hopped on the train. It's like only 5% of the ocean has been explored or whatever. So like, what if there's a fucking monster that made this noise?
The megalodon is still alive.
So if you like search, like all I had to do to get this image was search the bloop on Google, and you're gonna get a bunch of fucked up like animals that are really big, like Subnautica creatures, like that, and it's bullshit. It's just conspiracy theories. Like the ocean cannot sustain something that big, and like it's also like the fact, like the misnomer about like we've only explored 5% of the ocean is such bullshit. We've got pretty much the entire ocean, like a large majority of the ocean floor decently mapped. More detailed surveys can be done, but it's stupid to think that we've explored 5% of it when we've made all this progress. It's not. It's becoming less and less of a mysterious entity that it is. Most of it is water.
This might be wrong, but isn't the 5% of the explored like some idiot misinterpreting that we've only sent, like, isn't it like volume? Like, yeah, we've only sent 5%. This might be wrong. I might be misremembering something, but like
honestly, it could be something like that where it's like, yeah, we've only put a man in like 5% of the ocean.
Which is
like,
true.
Well,
yeah, it's like there's nothing there. It's
nothing there, and the other 95%, it's mostly water.
It's just an empty abyssal plain. Like there's nothing there.
The ocean floor is a very unique, varied biological landscape that has a lot of interesting things in it.
It's really
probably
cool,
just a lot of worms.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
Probably mostly worms.
Oh.
Just some Ediacaran bullshit that's barely evolved, I'd imagine.
Oh,
what's
to bring
that worm
out Dickinsonia.
from SpongeBob?
The Alaskan bullworm.
Bullworm. Yeah.
I was trying. That was what the animal reminded me of, and I couldn't think of the name.
The Alaskan bullworm. Yeah.
It does look Alaskan bullwormy, huh? Mm-hmm. But yeah, so what Noah eventually determined the bloop was an icequake, or a large iceberg grounding itself on the ocean floor.
Hot.
Ice. So it turns out, and we've learned this from, we're going to talk about more unidentified sounds besides just the bloop itself. It turns out that ice, when it fractures and breaks or runs aground or anything, it makes some of the loudest noises we've ever heard. Don't really know why. Probably has something to do with like compression of the ice and the release of air. I don't know. But like ice cracking in the Antarctic ice sheet, or like shifting so as to cause like what is essentially an earthquake, but on like an iceberg, right? Same kind of concept with tectonic plates. A tectonic plate will shift, but while it floats on the mantle, well, if an iceberg shifts while it's floating on the ocean, we get the same kind of thing, and they're very, very loud. So that is what the genuine answer here is, and that's why what pictured is an iceberg. I needed a photo of an iceberg, and I thought, fuck it, why not get the one photograph they got on, what is this, April, I think that's the 9th or something, or no, the 12th of April, 1912. This is a photograph that a rescue vessel looking for Titanic survivors took of what they thought was the iceberg the Titanic hit. Because I think they reported, yeah. So I think they reported like there's some paint somewhere on the side of this iceberg. But yeah, that's why I grabbed this one, is because
it's still out there. It will kill again.
It will kill again.
It thirsts for blood.
Honestly, it's too warm these days for an iceberg to get south of Halifax.
Yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me? So they've attributed to an icequake, and they've found similar icequakes to the bloop since. Like icebergs just disintegrating will like calving while they're floating will also do this, and other sort of things. I like that they refer to them as cryogenic signals.
That's cool.
That's good.
All right. So now there's another 3 formerly unidentified sounds on the next page, if you'll go there. So we got 3 more unidentified sounds. We will listen to them. So the spectrograms I will just say before we start listening, because we'll go by a different order, because I didn't realize that Wikipedia has them listed a certain way. We'll start with Julia, which is the one on the bottom. In the top left is a one called Train, and in the top right is one called Slow Down. So
Train.
We'll go Julia, Slow Down, and Train. Yeah, we'll get to Train. It's so these are a bunch of much longer sounds. You can tell they're displayed almost the exact same. The only one out of scale is Slow Down. You can see there it's goes only to 40 hertz, but the other 2 are in the same scale, up to 50 hertz. Again, they're all very low frequency. They're identified as icequakes or groundings. I think all of these are known as groundings because you're hearing like an iceberg being pushed up onto the seafloor and creating just a very loud, low sound that projects itself through the ocean, as opposed to the bloop, which is much shorter, which I think was probably why they called it an icequake, because it was really quick. So the first one I'll listen to is the one on the bottom left. It's Julia. It's this one was found in 1999. Found, I guess, heard.
Excuse you, Ocean. Jeez.
Again, most of these are found in the recorded in the Equatorial Pacific Autonomous Hydrophone Array. So these hydrophones are up in the equator, and they're recording these sounds of icebergs by Antarctica, just for like a sense of how far these sounds are traveling. That's a distance further than like Canada. Like, it's further than Canada is long, and the sound is going that far and still being that loud. These sounds are incredible. Again, all these sounds are sped up 16 times from their original.
Yeah.
So even though Julia took like how many seconds to record or whatever, but it was actually a couple minutes, right? I think here it says it's 2 minutes 43 seconds. Again, this is an iceberg just grounding itself on the ocean floor. The next one that sounds really fun is Slow Down, which sounds like a slowdown. I recorded in 97. It was also determined to be the iceberg grounding itself. And this was recorded over 7 minutes.
Holy shit.
Substantially longer than the recording on Wikipedia, but it is.
Ooh, I like it.
It has been picked up multiple times since, and it's determined that, yeah, it's like similar sounds because similar things are happening, right? It's another iceberg grounding itself, or I think like maybe even an ice sheet because it was like so much lower pitch and longer lasting, right? Like a whole ice sheet moving over land and then crashing into the water. And the last one, choo-choo.
Choo-choo. Oh, this one's a long one.
It is very long. It is another iceberg grounding itself. It is insane how much this sounds like a steam whistle.
It does.
It's deranged.
Mm-hmm.
Slowdown's probably the coolest one, though, in my opinion.
I also agree that Slowdown is the coolest one. But
Julia's
it is
was
hilarious.
kind of creepy. I like that one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Julia really sounded biological. I think that one,
Yeah.
Julia got a lot of conspiracy theories about it. Oh, yeah. Am I recording? Oh, well, it's on a different channel, so I guess if the... Oh, wait, no, I'm not recording that anyway. I'm not recording my desktop, like letting it go into the channel. It's going into a separate channel, so you can just cut it out, so it's all fine. Because I just noticed that, like, Train was playing through over your guys' voices, but that doesn't matter for me.
Yeah, it'll be on a separate level.
Yep, that'll be fine.
I'll figure something out for the audio.
I believe in you, champ. We can
believe in you
definitely,
too.
dude. We can definitely find MP4s of these on YouTube.
Yeah,
That would not be hard.
at worst comes to worst, I'll just screen recap
Fuck.
the ones.
I'll
from,
find them, dude. I'll find them for you. It's gonna be fine.
I might.
I'll link them in here.
I'll figure something out. We'll figure it out. They will
And
play
I mean,
in the
hey,
episode, though. Hopefully.
I mean, even if they don't play in the episode, folks, I'm telling you, these are not hard to find. All you got to do is look up like Bloop Conspiracy and have some moron tell you that these are actually fish when they're not. They're not fish. It's just ice being weird.
The Wikipedia will probably be in the description, regardless whether they're in the episode or not.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So those are some of the cool sounds. I mean, hey, fans of ice here, right? I love glaciers and shit. They're so
Gotta
much
love
fun.
that ice.
I love
Gotta
ice.
love that ice.
Oh, to go to Antarctica.
Personally, I think I'm good.
Oh, to find more Cryolophosaurus specimens,
Oh, to fuck
Actually,
the
that
ocean.
would be cool.
which I found out the other day are still not prepared.
Really?
Yep.
How long?
They were late 90s or early 2000s.
And they haven't prepared them yet?
They've prepared some of them. The rock is
It's kinda-
really, really hard.
Oh, I guess it would be. It's all
Yeah.
just fucking...
And they found that's a whole episode for a different day, but...
Beyond the scope of this podcast.
I was talking to a grad student who's like, wants to do some cool stuff? And I'm like, sure. So,
Yeah. So, on the list of unexplained sound, there are still things that Noah is trying to figure out. There are unexplained sounds that are still unidentified, like these all formerly were, which, I mean, we'll figure out the mystery. Next slide, please.
we're going to do it in this episode, folks.
That's right, folks. We're going to figure it out right now.
Guess what? It's a conspiracy
So-
theory podcast now.
We have two more sounds. You can see the upsweep there. So they're from left to right, upsweep and whistle. You can see whistle is another low-pitch sound, 0 to 40 hertz, and you can see there's a slightly higher pitch on upsweep, up to 64 hertz. But it's still, you can see majority of the sound is still very low-pitched, beyond what the human ear can actually hear. These are both actually. So when we listen to them, upsweep tells me it's sped up 20 times, and whistle is the same 16 times sped up. So we can listen to upsweep here.
like an alarm.
It really does sound like an alarm. So upsweep is recorded. This one's more interesting because it's recorded seasonally. There's a pattern to hearing upsweep in the ocean, and they first recorded it in August of 1991 using, again, the exact like surveillance system, like the same hydrophones. It's just I just saw on here a link to SOSUS, which
so
is
sus.
God damn it! I tried not to say it out. The sound
SOSUS.
surveillance system,
Sus.
which is the sound surveillance system in the hydrophone arrays. The sound was present when
Nice.
Pacific Marine Laboratory began recording. So this is something they've heard for years. This was not discovered in the 90s when NOAA took it over. This is something that way they heard even when looking for Soviet submarines during the Cold War. Now it's just a whole lot of sounds. It's high enough it's recorded throughout the entire Pacific, peaks in the spring and autumn, and no one's really sure what happens to it. Theories range from it's probably biological
Aliens.
if it's seasonal.
But
But
it's venom. This massive cock hitting the ocean floor.
Yeah.
No, he doesn't like sand.
it could also be volcanic activity.
He's making this sound. He
But
can't.
that
not
wouldn't
like
really
it.
explain why it's seasonal. The level of the volume is declining since 1991, but can still be detected on the equatorial arrays. I think because it's been declining since 1991 leads to the credence that it is biological. But knowing what it is, it could. I don't know. No one really knows. It could be. If it is biological, my theory is that it's like a lot of microorganisms.
That's a lot of
It's the
microorganisms
giant
to make that kind of
squid.
sound.
There are a lot of fucking like planktons and shit in the ocean. It's crazy. Like
I believe that.
The,
I believe that. Yeah.
They yearn
Yeah.
to be free.
which would
They want that
lead-
Krabby Patty formula.
which
I
would
got a
lead
Krabby
credence
Patty from
to
Wendy's. It wasn't very good.
Yeah. Is that actually
like-
a thing, or am I
yes.
crazy? It is
It
a
is
thing.
Can we get them here?
Yeah.
Well, Connor's
Everywhere?
got it. Yeah.
It's just a regular Dave single, just with a slightly different sauce.
Is it good?
Well, can we
It's
make a Wendy's
fine.
trip? Okay.
You can't even. You're vegetarian.
I will break to try the Krabby Patty.
It's
I will-
not
I
worth it. It's fine, but
Real quickly, I went to the mall yesterday with you can bleep out the name. The Chick-fil-A is open now, and the lineup went like they have a really long lineup in the area that the kiosk is at, and then it extended across right in front of like the clothing store that's like right next to it because it's in the food court where the pirate ship is, like that one.
yeah, I know.
And it's so I don't know if you guys have seen it yet or been to it yet, but
It wasn't
was,
open
like, the
last
lineup
time I was there.
I think it's like just recently opened, like not that long ago. But yeah, it was insanely long. Like Alex was like, "Oh, you should. Do you want to get a burger from there?" It's like, you know what? If to try Chick-fil-A, sure. Because when I went to the States last year, like one of my friends was like, "Go try it," and I was like, sure. And then I never did. But we had Outback Steakhouse instead, which was really good. But we decided not to wait in line for that because it looked long and we were tired and we wanted to just eat something. So yeah. Anyways, yeah, that was unrelated, sort of, but not at the same time, kind of.
Understandable.
Yeah.
So real quickly, the sound upsweep, it kind of reminds me, you know, like how countries have like those like alarms that they play in the streets for like big doo-doos, big issues, big stuff.
Yeah,
Not like it-
EAS alarms.
Yes.
Yeah,
I love
that's the one.
EAS alarm compilations. That's what I go to sleep to.
Yeah, I love seeing people like review them because some of them are just
I
like,
also
how
love
well can I
those.
sleep through them? Yeah. How well can I sleep through this EAS alarm? One of them is just like The Purge. One of them is just like, oh, I'm going back to sleep or shit like that. I respect that.
I mean, you say the Purge one. The Purge one's just the.
One of them
US,
sounds like the
Canada.
Purge one. They're just making like fun of the sound of it. That it like sounds.
Yeah,
like
because it's ours. We use that. That's our EAS one. If you ever had like an Alberta alert, they just hey Connor, I know we're asking you to cut a lot of audio in. Put in an EAS alarm. Really freak out the listeners.
Okay. It's an Amber Alert, guys.
Yeah, Amber
no.
alerts.
Isn't the Amber Alert sound different than the sound from the Purge?
I've never seen The
Pretty
Purge.
similar, but
It's not the same.
I have no
Because
idea.
the Purge one is like, yeah. As someone who watched the movies, they're not the same. I haven't seen the last one. I think I've seen the first 4.
I've never seen it.
The first 2 are really good. It actually has a continuum, and then there's like the one after, or maybe there is just 4. It doesn't matter. This is unimportant.
it's all good.
Radius, sorry. Got us off track with Krabby Patties.
Krabby Patties and EAS alarms. Now the second noise is whistle.
I don't hear anything on this one. It just sounds like normal background noise.
There is a very, very faint, low, almost wail noise. Sorry,
I can hear
realize
it.
that pause in my voice is just gonna be terrible in the recording.
I was
Like
really
we're all trying to
confused.
listen. Because we're all trying to listen to it.
Let me
folks.
try listening to it again. I listened to it right when I opened the website originally. But
Have you guys seen that meme going around where it's
No.
like, what the fuck is that Winnie the Pooh game that's going around? Just Piglet in like Silent Hill. Kind of reminds me of
I
that.
think I saw
Isn't that just
something about
modded
that
Silent
this morning.
Hill?
I think there's one that's actually like a game, and then they started modding it. We're putting Piglet in Silent Hill, yeah. But like classic Silent Hill, not like the remake.
So yeah, whistle is just a super low, not like a high. It does not vary in frequency, and it just is a very long, low, like whistle. I mean, it's in the name. The main leading theory with this is volcanic activity. They just haven't been able to associate it with a certain volcano, so it still remains as unidentified. It was recorded in 1997. A noise like this they say, could have traveled like far or not far from wherever volcano it was close to, even though the hydrophone was near the near the edge of the Pacific Rim, I guess you could say. Like, you know what I
I
mean.
love that movie.
I was like Pacific
It's a shame that they never made a sequel.
I love.
They never made a sequel.
Nope.
No, never happened.
I was gonna make a rim joke.
It
I don't
remains
think I could come up with one.
a soulful drama that exists
Pacific
only
my
in itself.
rim till
She's
I-
Pacific my rim till I
Till I rally.
don't have a sequel.
That's the character's name. Till like Gypsy
okay.
Danger. Till like Crimson Typhoon. I can't think of any others.
That's
Till I Doomsday.
Cherno Alpha. That's another one. That's the Russian one.
But yeah, folks, that's how we related nuclear spying and aliens and conspiracy theories and underwater noises all to one thing, one little scientific phenomenon of being able to listen to things over very, very long distance if you put the microphone in the right spot. Isn't
Wonder-
that fucking cool?
That is really cool.
Yeah, the microphones. These are in the ocean.
These are hydrophones, yes. All these noises came from the ocean.
Damn. How did they get the microphones back?
I think most of them are connected to a buoy, which then has a wire,
Yeah,
which they can
buoy.
just then receive the data like remotely.
Okay.
So I'm pretty sure that's how NOAA does it. I'm sure.
I was like, if they just dropped it in the ocean, I feel like that'd be kind of dumb. I assume that
Yeah,
they wouldn't
they,
do that.
Me
Like,
just
bye!
dropping my blue snowball into the middle of
Yeah.
the Pacific.
Yeah. They're like, what the fuck? That was thousands of dollars worth of equipment.
So they'll
like, oh.
install like a buoy out in the ocean, and they'll
Buoy.
anchor it to the bottom, and then they'll hang a series of microphones along that anchor all the way down to the bottom, and they'll be able to listen at different depths for different sounds. Lets them
really
figure
cool.
out what's going on in the ocean. Yeah, super cool.
I like it.
And so we have one last slide. I decided because we were on the ocean, I'd put in one of my favorite boys. Next slide, please.
Hell yeah.
Oh, he's beautiful.
Does anyone know what animal this is?
I can't
Absolutely
think of the
not.
name of it.
This is a wolf eel.
Ah, I love him.
Wolf eels are great. They are huge. They live in the Pacific Northwest. They are off our own coast. And they are super friendly and mate for life. I think they're very sweet. They all, even though they look like just so ugly, they only eat like crustaceans. I think from what I remember, I hear reports of like wild eels, like, and I should very much advise, do not try this at home. Do not feed any wild animals, but like wild eels.
If you're cold, they're cold. Bring them inside.
Don't bring him inside. He will suffocate. He is an eel. But like I've heard reports of like they will get pets from divers and like they'll like eat out of hands. Like they're extremely friendly. Not pretty much no danger at all.
Huh.
I won't. I don't want to go into the ocean.
Yeah, wolf eels are great.
You can pet fish. Fish like to be pet. Certain fish like to be pet.
Any animal can be pet if you're not a little bitch about it.
Correct. Bet.
True.
Lion time. Let's go.
I want to pet a tiger so much. If not boopable, why do they have a sweet little nose?
Then why boop?
Why boopable?
Why boopable?
Mm-hmm.
I want to pet a polar bear.
Pacific Northwest, best area of the ocean. Best like they call it like ecological environment, extremely diverse, awesome area. Even though it's cold as fuck, it's still super cool. I love that Finding Dory 2 was Pacific Northwest theme. That's good.
Finding Dory
Finding Dory. Not just Finding Dory. It was Finding Nemo 2.
Finding Dory. Yeah, they were Finding Dory too.
I don't know. I got excited. But yes, the Pacific Northwest is the best part of the ocean. I will be taking no debate on this. And I know that neither of you have opinions otherwise.
I think he's cool. I like it.
Pacific Northwest featuring such greats as the giant Pacific octopus.
Hell yeah.
Kelp forests.
Hell yeah.
Lots of whales like orcas, and like you can get most whales. Most of the cool baleen whales will be in the Pacific Northwest, like gray whales or humpback whales, or you can also get like a variety of orcas and porpoises. You get sea lions, you get seals. I love harbor seals. Should have put a harbor seal in here as a consolation. Just one of those fucking sausage rolls. You get a whole variety of fish. You get a super, super rich marine environment. Yeah, Pacific Northwest. It's great. Deserves to be protected. That's all I have.
Yeah.
I don't know how to end this.
No wow signal?
Just saying, his
Wow
face
signal.
looks very...
Wow signal is not related.
I guess this was all Earth-based stuff, wasn't it?
This was all Earth and sound wave based stuff. If you want to talk about electromagnetic symbol, if you want to talk about electromagnetic signals from space and FRBs and shit like that, then you can talk about that.
I'll let you off on a technicality on this one. That was
The
just
wolf
one of the
eel
only
looks
weird
very
signals I knew
kissable.
about.
You got big lips.
You got big lips.
Big
Got them
lips.
DSLs, you know?
That's right.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. Those dog signal
Got
like
that dog in 'em.
Got that dog in him. Can't do a
All right.
STEM, can't really replace STEM with a better acronym. Nothing will beat STEM.
Nope.
Stupid titties, enormous memories.
Yeah, I got nothing. Hey, thanks for watching, everyone.
That's a podcast.
We really appreciate your viewership to this bullshit that we do. I can be found on my photography page, which I haven't posted on in a while, but will eventually get back to, called Gallery Gramps. Connor can be found on his YouTube channel, CJSiev. Eventually. New videos coming, folks. Stay tuned. Don't touch that dial.
I know I've said that for a year now, but
You better be
they are
posting your
coming
annual
through.
Christmas episode. Too.
I will. I know what it's going to be.
Amazing.
He's
I'm so
locked in.
excited.
And Ray
Very
can be
excited.
found where Ray can be found. I'm not sure.
I have an art Instagram, m.r_aey, Mr. Ray. That's probably in the link. You've seen it before if you've listened before. If not, go ahead and click them. Everyone's links will be in there.
Stay tuned for next week's episode, the special anniversary episode.
Like
gonna
and
be-
subscribe.
One year. Don't even get me started.
Yeah, 1 year.
1 year.
Yay!
This will be our.
folks.
This
Technically, I
podcast
guess.
is single-handedly keeping our friendship alive. It's not.
This is
It
technically
is,
our
it is.
20th episode right now, if we
I guess
count the
so,
two
yeah.
two-parters.
Yeah.
And episode wasn't it episode 0?
No, that was episode 1. We
No,
counted
we
it.
had episode 1. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, we call it episode 1.
Mm-hmm.
the pilot.
Yeah, all of them. Were.
Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.